this and I'm probably going to cry, just so you know. My name is Zachary Cam. Between the years of 2010 and 2014, I served in the United States Marine Corps as a combat engineer. I was a direct party to the belligerent occupation of Afghanistan, a conflict not so different than the one that we're here tonight to protest. I can no longer ignore and be silent about my part in crimes committed against humanity. I know it might not mean much, but to the beautiful, proud Afghan people who still manage to keep their humanity, generosity, and hospitality, even under the boot of the oppressive U.S. military, even directly to us occupying Americans. It is with the deepest sorrow and overwhelming guilt that I apologize to you tonight. I am so sorry, and I hope that my being here and trying to stop the same things from continuing to happen to the Palestinian people show that these words are not empty. Tonight, we are here to celebrate the life and death of another American military man who chose a different way to stand up, the ultimate way. On Sunday, Senior Airman Aaron Bushnell decided to partake in the most extreme form of protest, self-immolation. It seems unimaginable that someone could think that being burned alive could still be better than a situation here on Earth. But even as the flames ate away at him, Aaron Bushnell did not stutter or stammer. He did not regret his actions and beg for help. He yelled, "Free Palestine!" Please repeat after me. Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Where women and children make up 70% of the casualties. Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Where people are drinking water from the gutter and children scrape flour from the dirt. Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Where hospitals are repeatedly airstruck and deprived of life-saving electricity. Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Where pregnant women are forced to have emergency C-sections with no anesthesia. Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Where people die under the rubble because their families have no way of retrieving them. Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Where journalists and academics are targeted by sniper fire and every university has been destroyed. Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Where what few crops can be planted are raised by armored bulldozers specifically made for the IDF by Caterpillar, an American company worth $160 billion. Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine, where entire multi-generational families are wiped out with a single bomb. Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Aaron's message demands that we, the military community, who have been mostly silent about our part in this cruel, broken system, speak up. This is no secret to us. It has been a scourge in our community for decades. We acknowledged the symptoms, but never came to terms with the underlying cause. But in reality, it's simple. 22 veterans a day do not kill themselves if they have fought in a righteous war. Sorry. That happens when you are lied to and have your sense of patriotism and duty used against you. It happens when the people you are fighting are the people you dream of being if we were ever attacked. It happens when you're told you'll be Luke Skywalker and you end up just another stormtrooper. It happens when it's too late, when you know the truth and you found yourself in a situation of kill or be killed, all for a lie. So I say, instead of killing ourselves in private, out of shame, guilt, and desperation, let us publicly reaffirm our oaths. No matter what has happened in the interim, you and I have taken an oath to protect our citizens, to protect humanity from enemies both foreign and domestic. What the tragedy is too many of us were tricked by domestic enemies into fighting foreign brothers and sisters. But it's not too late. It's not too late to start undoing the evil we've committed. And further, that oath is still owed. It is not enough to say that we're out of the military. Oh, that system is corrupt, so the commitments we made are no longer valid. I was going to curse, but I didn't realize we were going to be in a church today. So as long as we breathe, that oath is owed. And we should all be ashamed that we have let that oath wither and die. We have chosen silence and suicide over justice and truth. Every time an American is evicted, our oath is broken. Every time an innocent American gets put into prison, our oath is broken. Every time an American dies because of our broken healthcare system, our oath is broken. Every time the government tries to stop protests and cops beat civilians, our oath is broken. Every time atrocities are committed in our name and we do not use our experiences to speak out against it, our oath is broken. As Aaron Bushnell showed us, every second that the Palestinian people are under a crushing, inhuman genocide, our oath is broken. I stand before you not to burn myself, but to burn a former self. Is an act of solidarity with a brother in arms and a continuation of Aaron's active protest. I present the flag that I flew in Afghanistan. And the medals I was awarded for my part in an illegal war. I invite you all on Sunday to mark the 7th day of Aaron's protest to meet me outside of the Israeli consulate to the Midwest at 500 West Madison. I will be there setting this all on fire to continue the protest. Fellow veterans and military personnel, look inside your heart and look at the results of the wars in which we partook. Who can look at Iraq and Afghanistan and say that we did a good thing? It's plain to see that we have brought nothing but death and destruction to the world. I know a lot of us have had the most important moments of our lives during these conflicts, but we have an opportunity. Aaron has given us the permission and the encouragement to let go of who we once were and look proudly towards who we can be. I ask those same veterans and military people to stand with me, and on Sunday, in person or online, find something from your broken past, burn it, live stream it, post it to YouTube. Use the hashtags Aaron Bushnell and Solidarity. Whatever you have to do. I know there will be a knee-jerk reaction to a flag burning, but we are a country in distress. We are a humanity in distress, and Aaron's death unfortunately proved that you must be severe and radical to cut through the noise of this country. Here in America, it's far too easy to look the other way at what's happening. It's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day life and not even realize the evils that are happening around us, the violence that our society is built on. It's by design. If you're too busy with work and life, you have no time to look at what the government and the military are doing. I believe that that's why Aaron was so extreme in his actions, and acts so unimaginable that it cannot be ignored, because it felt so strongly that something, anything, needed to be done to wake up Americans, to soften their hearts and help them to accept the reality of Palestine. Because Israel will never stop on its own. We have to stop it here. We can no longer throw our hands up and blame the government. We cannot stop until Palestine is free. It is our duty as veterans, it is our duty as Americans, and it is our duty as human beings. This was the sentiment of one of the last things said by Aaron as he posted, "Many of us like to ask ourselves, what would I do if I was alive during slavery, or the Jim Crow style, or apartheid? What would I do if my country was committing genocide? The answer is you're doing it right now. And thankfully, look at all of us doing it right now in his honor." Those of us who showed up in person and in spirit, I'm here on my work break, so I get that not everybody can be here. Those congregating around the country and around the world have joined our voices together to say that we will not stand idly by while a genocide is being live streamed to every phone, tablet, and computer in the entire world. If you haven't seen Aaron's video, I encourage you, if you feel you are capable, to watch it. That is, after all, why he did it. Not to be ignored, not to be edited, not to be filtered through your favorite news network or political talking head, but to be witnessed, to force you to watch one of the most horrifying things imaginable, and to think what demented reality could push somebody to do this at all, nevertheless to themselves. If and when you see Aaron's video, you will look upon barely living cremation of what was just a few moments before a beautiful, brave man. You will feel heartbreak because you're a human. Just like the heartbreak you feel when you hear the cries of the Palestinians, when you see a featureless rubble that should be a bustling seaside resort city, like when you see Israel kill its own hostage in its sick, unquenchable bloodlust. Harness that, because what is coming is a fight for humanity. Aaron addressed our ruling class, and I would like to as well. You have never been able to stamp out the indomitable human spirit. Not with the proud Native Americans, not with African chattel slavery, not with colonies, not with domestic apartheid laws, not with not with urban ghettos, not with abandoned coal and steel towns, not by letting small farms get gobbled up by giant conglomerates, not with inhuman civilian bombing campaigns, not with brutal military occupations, not with crippling sanctions, not with constant surveillance, and we here stand in chorus, led by our brother Aaron, to say that you will never stamp out the human spirit of the Palestinian people. I'm not asking for the bare minimum like some other people are. We the people are sick and tired of asking for the bare minimum and still being disappointed. We the people demand more than empty promises of political pressure while children starve and families are murdered en masse. We demand more than a ceasefire, because stopping is not enough when Israel has destroyed any and all human infrastructure. We demand that the U.S. government immediately send aid to the Palestinians. We demand that the U.S. government immediately cut funding to Israel. We demand that if Israel refuses to comply, that the American military immediately intervene to stop the genocide, whether that's orders from the president or a courageous mutineer who is willing to put their oath and their duty above their military orders. We demand that any U.S. citizen who joined the IDF immediately stand trial for war crimes or be forced to relinquish their citizenship. If Palestinians cannot go home because of things that you think, you should not be able to go home either. If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. How do we shut it down? How do we keep this fight going? Because we cannot stop now, not when such a sacrifice has been made. The answer is organizing. Not allowing Aaron's sacrifice to go to waste. Channel that anger and pain and into something useful and transformative. And speaking of which, I would like to thank Chicago Answer, Healthyhood Chicago, and the Party for Socialism and Liberation for inviting me and allowing me to speak to you today. These are just a few among a host of amazing organizations that you can join. Some pressure the government, some take care of the people. We need every facet of society, so find where you fit in and let's get to work. Say it with me. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. Remember, please join me on Sunday at noon if you'd like. But Aaron Bushnell did his protests alone, and if I have to, I will too. I would like to conclude by sending our deepest condolences to the friends and family of Aaron Bushnell. The public and gruesome death of your loved one is a pain that few of us will ever understand, but it's a pain that none of us will ever forget. Please join me in a moment of silence for Aaron, his loved ones, the hundreds of thousands of Palestinians who have been killed, the millions in the diaspora watching in horror as their loved ones are murdered, and those Palestinian people who are bravely clinging to their humanity, trying to survive in the most punishing place on earth right now. Thank you. I've talked for far too long now, so I want to finish my speech the same way that the hero Aaron Bushnell did. Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!